It's Tuesday, June 1st, 2021, an absolute stunning evening here in the desert of Southern California. There's a few things I want to talk about this evening with all of you. Most of you have heard that the world's largest meat supplier was cyber attacked on Sunday. And I bring this up because it's a pretty big deal. So many people believe that the system is safe. So many people believe that the financial institutions are safe, the banks are safe, their money is safe, their information is safe, and it really isn't. And this article that I was reading earlier today on the Daily Mail, titled World's Biggest Meat Supplier, JBS, is hit by cyber attack that shuts down plants in Australia and Canada just weeks after Colonial Pipeline operations were halted by Russian infrastructure hack. JBS, again, the world's largest meat supplier, hit by a cyber attack with hackers shutting down internal computer systems and forcing the company to suspend parts of its operations in Canada and Australia. And when I read stuff like this, it's just another reminder of just how fragile the system is and how vulnerable it is, and how many people have all their money literally on a computer. JBS, a Brazilian meat company, operates in 15 countries and employs 250,000 people. JBS oversees beef and lamb operations in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. It includes 18 beef processing units, 6 feedlots, 2 leather units, 2 lamb units, 1 pork unit, 8 processed food units, 9 logistics centers, 8 distribution centers in 3 countries. They're humongous. And if this can happen to them, it can happen to your bank. It can happen to your financial institution. It can happen to anybody. In Canada, their beef plant in Brooks, Alberta, was not operational. And it's another reminder of how quick the food source can be shut off, how quick the financial source, your financial institutions, your investments can all be shut off. Your ATM, shut off. Your bank, shut off. Access to money, shut off. And so, as I make these videos, let me remind all of you that if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And that doesn't mean just financially. You need to be making sure that you have food and water put away also, because this is just another warning of how vulnerable we really are. In Australia, JBS entire beef and lamb kills were shut down across the nation. We look at pipelines, meat suppliers, the chemical industry, wastewater treatment industry. Nothing is 100% safe, and that includes you and I. So you got to have a backup plan. Just imagine if your computer didn't work one day, if your ATM card didn't work, if your debit card didn't work, if your credit card didn't work one day, what would you do? What if it didn't work for a week or 2 weeks? What if your money went missing? Digits on a screen gone like that. What would you do? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have physical cash put away? Do you have physical gold and silver put away? Do you have food and water put away? Because the grocery stores, when people begin to panic, as you saw a while back, people needed toilet paper. And so there was a complete run and shortage on toilet paper. What happens when people panic that they're not going to get beef or pork or chicken? How long do you think it's going to last in the stores? And, can you go a week without food? 1/5 of U.S. beef capacity wiped out by JBS cyber attack. Think about that, 1/5, just like that. All of its beef plants in the U.S. have been shut down. There have been more than 40 publicly reported ransomware attacks against food companies since 2020. So, we're already seeing the increase of prices because of inflation. Now, a cyber attack. What does this mean for food prices? Probably more than likely, you're going to see another increase in the price. Everything is vulnerable, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why it's so important to prepare. I know people just believe that, I'm repeating the same message, but here we are, this last Sunday, another major cyber attack. And yet people just go on just believing that they're invincible, that the system is invincible, that there's always going to be food on the shelves, that the restaurants are always going to be open, their bank's going to be open, the stock market will always be open, their financial institutions will always be open. But what happens when that day occurs where something isn't open? It's closed. Are you prepared? U.S. meat supply under threat as cyber attack spreads across JBS plants nationwide. This is on The Hedge. You know, how quick can panic buying begin, and how long would the lines be if this, began to hit other meat suppliers? It would be literally catastrophic overnight. And so just imagine what you would be dealing with in these long lines, people panicking, prices going through the roof. If you have the necessities and the preparations put away, you don't have to go and fight the long lines. You don't have to witness the violence. People are fighting, remember they're fighting over toilet paper. Imagine what they would do over food. And the next question is, JBS, did they pay the ransom? Next question, who did this? Who's responsible for this? And the next question is, who's next? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your bank. Maybe it's your financial institution. Maybe it's your pension. Maybe it's your money market. Who knows? Who's next? Maybe it's your water treatment plant. So the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is prepare, because everybody believes that they're invincible. Everybody believes the power is going to come on tomorrow. Everybody believes the credit card's going to work, the ATM card, the debit card, it's all going to work. But what if it doesn't? Always be ready for the worst case scenario. Here's an article on The Hedge today. America's housing future remains murky at best. And you got to ask yourself, with everything we're seeing in this housing market, this massive bubble that continues to inflate, and it is going to burst unlike any we've ever seen. Is home ownership really for everybody? So many people are being so duped into this buying frenzy. We're seeing major disruptions in home prices. Investment money, institutional money, companies like American Homes for Rent, who now owns 54,000 homes, historical low rates, the fear of missing out. All this is causing major disruptions and a total feeding frenzy. And I really believe so many people are going to regret that they just bought a house, because these prices are going to come down. We're going to see a crash, and so many people are going to regret that they got duped and suckered into this feeding frenzy because of the fear, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Many people are spending money on a home that they can't even afford. And I think that the television, a lot of these television shows, society, a lot of these business channels are feeding this frenzy. They're pouring gas on the fire. And people don't understand that homes can be a huge money pit. You got to heat it, you got to cool it, you got to pay the utilities, you got maintenance, you got repairs, insurance, taxes, local fees, you name it. And a lot of people buy a home that it's much more home than they need. How many people, married couple, husband and wife, how many people like this buy a 4 or 5 bedroom home? And they're not using half the house. It's just money, just wasted, because they've got to impress their friends, they got to impress the family, they got to impress people on social media. These people are going to regret what they did. This may be the most distorted housing market we have ever seen in American history. Unprecedented Fed intervention, government stimulus feeding this, inflation running hot, labor shortages, 16 million people claiming unemployment, yet we're watching the hottest housing market in history. Something doesn't add up. 2.5 million people in forbearance, nearly 12 million people not paying rent, and yet we have a historic housing market. It just doesn't make sense, does it? As we head deeper into this collapse, many homeowners will realize, ladies and gentlemen, that it's going to become tougher to pay all these bills during the tough times. And the tough times are just beginning. But hey, again, 2 people needed a 5-bedroom house with a swimming pool. Nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen, nothing to worry about. And let's not forget all the uncertainty. We've had an economy shut down for an entire year. We're looking at 25% unemployment currently in America. If you look at the shadowstats.com website, John Williams, and yet we're supposed to believe that this is the hottest housing market in human history. Well, you take these artificially low rates, you take all this institutional money, all this investment money, all this foreign money that's been pouring into it. This is what's really feeding the fire here. Everything is great. Everything is great until it isn't, but something just doesn't add up. You can't have this many people not paying rent, this many people in forbearance, this many people unemployed, this many people refusing to go back to work because they are dependent on government subsidies, yet have this housing boom. So what is really supporting the housing boom? Who's really propping up this housing market? I believe it's a lot of foreign money, a lot of investment money, a lot of institutional money. We're going to find out. We will find out. But the bubble is going to pop. No matter what is propping it up, the bubble is going to pop. And the people that will be hurt the most is the average American who got duped and suckered into this FOMO. That's who's going to get hurt. The big institutional money, they can weather the storm. They got extremely deep pockets. All they're going to do is buy more homes at a discounted rate. The average American is the one that is going to get hurt here. As we are told daily, as I watch the business channels every morning, everything is great. The economy, the V-shaped recovery, everybody going back to their $10 an hour jobs. If you're lucky, you'll be getting $15 an hour. If you live out in California, you're making $15 an hour. I mean, that's literally poverty out here. But I don't know about you. If you notice, the rolls are getting thinner, the cans are getting smaller. The garbage bags are getting thinner. This is shrinkflation. Corporations are doing everything they can not to raise prices because they do not want to scare the consumer off. So what are they doing? They're shrinking the size of everything. You buy something, the package is the same size, but the amount in the package is much smaller. The ounces is less. Consumers check prices all the time. What you need to start doing is checking the weight of the product. I talked on a past video recently. Costco prices last week soared. Beef was up 20%. Clothing up 10%. Get ready to see those, those $4.99 chickens they have there at Costco. Those will be going up next. And all the dollar stores now, nothing's even $1 in these stores. Everything now is $2, $3, $4. The dollar store is getting priced out. So many of them had to change their name to the, multiple dollars, to a couple dollar store, to the, $5 or below store. And these are the stores that are extremely busy, by the way. Many retailers I see are still struggling, but it's these discounted, $1, $2, $3, $5 stores that are booming. And they're going to continue to boom because people are going to be continued to be forced to shopping at these stores. People are going to really, really have to hunker down here and watch their dollars. As the $300 benefits come to an end, as unemployment winds down, this is going to get very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get very, very interesting. People are going to really have to watch their dollars. And here in California, the end of June, the rent moratorium expires. I don't know when it expires in your state, but it could be extended. I don't know, but how long can they continue to extend these moratoriums, these forbearances? Somebody's got to get paid here. But again, people being suckered into this stock market, which is a massive bubble. People continued to be suckered into the crypto bubble, suckered into the housing bubble. This is going to end so badly, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to connect the dots here. This is the time, in my opinion, to really, really be hunkering down, get the debts paid off, have some cash put away, have an emergency fund, have some assets, and sit back and wait it out. That's my opinion only. I'm not giving anybody financial advice, but there's, at least for me, there's no way I would be putting big money in the stock market or the housing market. There is just too many warning signs going off right now. And cryptos. I mean, we were watching cryptos. They've just been flat here now for weeks and weeks. So it's anybody's guess of when this thing begins to really burst, but it's going to take one little pinprick, and one bubble is going to go, the next bubble will go, the next bubble will go, and it's all going to happen at the worst possible time. We are watching an economic collapse take place right now, and these bubbles haven't even burst yet. When they do, oh my goodness, you talk about trouble, you're going to see trouble. The dollar under extreme pressure, and it's going to continue to be under extreme pressure. And again, at the worst possible time, people's purchasing power is getting weaker and weaker at the worst possible time during a depression. Your dollar is going to buy you less food, less gas, less services, less products at the worst possible time. This is the perfect storm, ladies and gentlemen, that people have been talking about for years, and it is here. It is beginning. And I'm going to close with this. Be very cautious how you're spending your money. Do you really need that trip to Vegas? Do you really need the $7 latte? Do you really need the $100 steak dinner? Do you really need the Vegas trip, the Hawaii trip? Look, if you can afford it, God bless you. Do it. But you got to ask yourself, can you really afford it? Or should that money be being put away? Should it be spent somewhere else, maybe on some assets? Should it be in a cash reserve? Do you have a 6-month cash reserve right now? If you don't, you shouldn't be taking a vacation. Do you have enough food put away? Thanks to everybody in the comments last night. A lot of great ideas. Another one, putting protein powder away. Great idea. How about putting some pharmaceuticals away? Vitamins, put those away. Just things we really need to be thinking about putting away. Extra cans every time we go to the grocery store. Bring that home, put that away, don't think about it. You'll be happy. I really, truly believe that all of you are going to look back and be very, very happy that you didn't blow your money on a vacation. You didn't blow your money on a house right now. The sales are coming, ladies and gentlemen. Put the money where it needs to be put, in the most useful place, and that is in preparations. Food, water, gold, silver, cash. And maybe you put those vitamins away, those pharmaceuticals away, the protein powders away. The biggest meat producer in the world shut down, like just in the blink of an eye. We're so susceptible. If your water treatment facility in your town got shut down, if your power grid got shut down, how long would you be able to survive? Think about it. We all have got to be thinking about a strategy, a plan. We've got to have a network of friends, the preparations. Anything is possible in 2021, and this is just a warm-up for what's coming in 2022. The inflation will run hotter. There will be more unemployment. There will be more cyber attacks. Prices will be more expensive at the store. Healthcare will be more expensive. What's going to happen when we begin to see this housing bubble burst? What are people going to do? They're going to be upside down. People didn't even sell the house in LA to go buy the house in Texas or Arizona. Now they got 2 mortgages. Now they got more debt because they used one house as an ATM to buy the other house. This thing is going to be such a mess, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be such a mess. And I know that people out there believe none of this could happen, but look where we're at. You didn't believe an economy could be shut down for a year. You didn't believe a global economy could be shut down for a year. You didn't believe that we'd see 25% unemployment in America. You didn't believe we would see inflation beginning to run hot. You didn't believe that you would see Bitcoin come down 40, 45%. You didn't believe that we would see bubbles upon bubbles like we're seeing now. Now, nobody believed that. Nobody believed it. It's just unbelievable that people never learn their lesson. And the problem here is that people are going to learn a lesson, but it's not going to be a lesson that lasts a day or two. It's going to be a lesson that lasts them a lifetime, because people financially are going to get wiped out. People are going to see things happen socially that they never thought humanly possible. People are going to find out that the system has let them down. The system is going to melt down, and these people who were so reliant on the system and put so much faith in the system are going to find out that the system is not going to be there for them. The only thing that will be there for them is them. You got to look yourself in the mirror today and realize that the whole thing's coming down. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, what bank did what politician did what investment company did what. It doesn't matter at that point. What is going to matter is, are you going to be able to survive from that point on? There'll be plenty of time for the blame game, but the main thing is, are you going to be able to feed yourself and your family? And the other question is, are you going to be able to capitalize on the opportunity, the massive opportunity that is going to be coming to America? So there's the good news. I'm going to end this video on great news. Great opportunity is coming. More wealth will be made during this wealth transfer, during this time of opportunity, than any other time in the history of the entire world. And I believe that all of you have an opportunity to take advantage of it and build your wealth. And that's what I plan on doing. I know many of you plan on doing that. And the smart money and the patient money is going to wait until that day comes. And that day is coming. And I don't think that day is far away. But massive opportunity, unlike we've ever seen in our lifetime, is about to happen. And the people who have been smart, the people who have been patient, the people who haven't put all their money into the system, these are the people who are going to absolutely make out, and many of them become very, very wealthy. These are the people who are going to take advantage of a bad situation, and they're going to create massive, massive wealth. There's going to be many, many losers, more losers than winners, that's for sure. But the people right now partying, the people right now who believe that everything's going to be fine, the people right now that believe that Fed will never, ever disappoint, the Fed will save the system, their bank will never fail, their currency will never fail. Those people right now who are living it up, telling you that you should be buying a house, buying all these cryptos, sell everything and just go get yourself some cryptos. Get yourself farther in debt and go buy a house. Those people right there, these are the people that are going to lose, and they're going to lose badly. The smart money right now is waiting. And if you've been reading like I have, so many billionaires have already gotten out of the stock market. They've cashed out. What do they know that most people don't know? Why are they getting out right now? They're not going to get out a day before the crash. They're not going to get out a week or a month before the crash. They're gradually getting out right now. Why is that? They know something's coming. The smart money knows it. The question is, are you the smart money or are you the dumb money? People living good today aren't going to be living so good tomorrow. People driving a nice car today with a job could be homeless tomorrow. People living in a nice condo or apartment right now may be homeless when these moratoriums expire. There is so much uncertainty, and this is what you need to be planning for. Plan for uncertainty, because the rest of this year is going to be filled with uncertainty, and as we hit 2022, the uncertainty is going to be off the Richter scale. Get ready.